Всем привет! Это канал Resident Game, меня зовут Яна. Продолжаем играть в Demonicon. В прошлой серии я внезапно выключилась и даже не попрощалась, потому что нажала на стоп нечаянно. Хотела нажать на паузу, а нажала не на то, что надо. Фига себе, что тут происходит. В общем, продолжаем играть. Идем по следу сестры, мы ее видели. Вот.
Calandra, father, are you all right?
We're doing fine, Chiron.
This hut won't take this for long. With you here, we can try and break out.
What the hell's happened?
The attack came suddenly. We were lucky that we rescued the others.
Lucky is an understatement. Right now, they're shredding everything alive out there. The undead are coming from all directions.
Then there must be several sources, summoning circles, necromancers' work.
We need to head for the Prios Temple. It's easiest to defend.
Consecrated ground. If we're lucky, the Sun God's blessing will stop the undead. Let's go.
Alone? And what about the people here? They're refugees too, just like us.
We no longer belong to these people.
What do you mean?
We have our citizenship. We can enter the city.
I don't have to marry him?
This is not the time. Let's go.
If those summoning circles really are the source of the undead, that would definitely be an advantage for us.
It would mean that the undead aren't just appearing on their own, but that someone's calling them. You can't summon undead, demons, or even elementals without summoning circles.
Let us hope that the necromancers didn't forget their protective circles. Otherwise, where's the challenge?
Quit showing off, as if protective circles would affect you. It's not like you're from the Netherhells, Chiron.
Maybe not. But maybe these necromancers can tell. Seems the Rondrians weren't all that thorough when they liberated Warunk.
That's not getting us any further here, Chiron.
I heard from the refugees they saw a number of summoning circles on the way here.
Then there are probably several necromancers.
Those summoning circles must be destroyed, otherwise the attacks will continue.
They'll have enough reinforcements with the amount of dead lying here. And just where exactly is Folk? Aren't Daeons supposed to deal with the undead?
Stop it, Chiron. We don't know where they're fighting the undead here in the camp.
Right, we don't know. All we know is that I didn't see a single Rondrian on the way here. Not one!
Right. We don't even know if the Prios Temple is even still consecrated.
Stop it, both of you! At least the temple is easy to defend.
Let's just go.
Пошли.
The undead could attack at any moment. We have to go.
I will not leave these people here. I don't want the blood of any more innocents on my hands. And not on your hands either, Chiron.
Chiron, go ahead. You hack your way through the worst of it, and we'll follow with the refugees.
From one summoning circle to the next. If I catch a necromancer, I destroy his circle, and you follow. It's the tougher path, but there's less danger if we meet them head-on than in having them follow us.
Let's go.
Почему я не могу сестру управлять? Я хочу ей тоже поиграть. Ну чё, начнем? Козёл. Что ты делаешь? Так. Да блин. Куда идти?
What have you found?
A severed hand. Leftovers from the storming of the armory.
Severed body parts as a sacrifice for the invocation of a demon.
The only one who really comes into question is Thalgunitoth, archdemon of the undead.
The Dark Mother.
Stop it, both of you. Anyone naming names is playing with their soul.
As if that ever stopped you, Father.
This is something else, Calandra. You don't understand.
Don't think for a minute that you can keep fobbing me off with that old line.
Alright, let's keep moving. We still haven't caught all the necromancers.
Пошли.
Get away from my daughter, you monster!
Что? Ты проехал. Ты мне нужен. Сюда иди. Я вызываю тебя на дуэль.
You found something?
A piece of amber. The sacred stone of the sun god Prios. One exactly like the one that was stolen recently. No charges were ever laid because the victim was afraid.
You've really been having a good look around, Warren, haven't you?
Black Araz. Definitely the Lord of Vengeance. He's the only one anyone would offer up a piece of amber to in order to facilitate the invocation.
You mean the sun god, Prius' nemesis? What would he have to do with summoning undead?
Maybe that explains why they were able to attack during the day without turning to dust.
The light-shunning rabble.
Don't be silly. This just doesn't fit. We'll need to find the mastermind if we want to know more. If Black Araz is involved, someone is out for revenge. But when he starts summoning undead at the same time, he's out to divert attention from something else. Something bigger.
Oh, then it has to be a Borberadian father. With them, nothing is ever the way it seems.
Find that funny, do you? You find that funny, you silly fool?
Come, Father, calm down. We need to get going. Now, if we find him and he really is a Borberadian, you can have the finishing blow.
You are fools, children. Happy fools.
Почему это мы дураки? Сам ты дурак. Мы почти пришли к церкви.
Another barricade. At least one summoner must still be alive.
Да, и где же он? Я пока только вижу мертвецов. Видимо, нам туда. Другого пути нет. Может, в голове своей? Привет. Все.
What the hell's happened here?
One less necromancer. One more demonic sacrifice. An executioner's sword with a lioness coat of arms on it.
A Rondrian weapon as an offering in an undead summoning. That's strange. The war goddess's demonic opponents have nothing to do with revenants.
Right. That summoning must have been directed at some other demon than the archdemon Thargunitoth. The undead have been called independently of this summoning. Besides Rondra's nemesis Belhalha, I'd say Blackaraz, the Lord of Vengeance, would probably be a good guess. Executioner souls are often sacrificed to him.
How come you know so much about demons?
You picked these things up over the years. Chiron, weren't you in a hurry? There's still a good way to the Prios Temple.
Что-то скрывает отец, явно. Ну ничего.
Falk. Who would ever thought to see you here?
Sharp-tongued as ever. At least there's one way to distinguish you from the undead.
Falk, are you here to help?
The zombies didn't rise up on their own. Someone called them. We followed that man here. The leader of the Necromancers has fled to the Prios Temple. He is trapped.
The House of the Sun God has been desecrated.
The God of Princes will not protect the lowliest. At least we know that now.
And we know where his soul will go when we're finished with it.
Protect the refugees. I'm going in.
You were very brave. In Rondra's name, I'll let you go first.
Suddenly worried about getting your fingers dirty?
No, dear Kyra. For once in your life, you too should have the chance to prove your worth. Maybe some rich citizen's daughter will hear of your courage. A cleverly arranged marriage with a little tart
меня оно
like
уже
that,
есть.
and you could gain citizenship.
Ты спишь со шлюхой? Почему этот чувак разговаривает, но его не слышно?
You!
Chiron! Please!
I'm going in.
Боже. Это прайс, типа. А вот и некромант. Знакомая рожа у него.
Chiron, I have been expecting you.
How do you know my name?
You won't need a name where you're going. Get ready to face the Dark Mother.
О. Бей. Что он сказал? Бр. Слышь, ты почти умер. Бери свой щит. Правильно. Ну и боссы тут, слабачки.
The villain's escape left many questions
А
unanswered.
он не умер, он
Who
убежал.
summoned them? What did he want to achieve? Why did Falk, a senior Rondrian, allow Chiron to face the summoner?
Может, он хотел, чтобы он
Instead
умер?
of replying, Falk ordered the Rondrians to seal off the refugee camp and comb it in search of the summoner there, using whatever means necessary. He quartered his bride Calandra and her family in the old pillory,
А
the
почему
best
он
guest
выбирал?
house on the square. At least now, with the approaching wedding, his thoughts seemed to focus on Calandra's welfare.
Так мы ж получили
At least,
гражданство.
that was the impression he gave.
Зачем ей жениться на этом баране? Что-то как-то очень быстро идут события в этой игре. Что происходит?
Stop eavesdropping, Chiron. What is said in the next room is none of your business.
Falk is talking to his mother, probably planning his next crime, the bastard.
Enough! We all realize that you can't stand them.
Not even you like those two, Father. We could see the way you stared at Falk's mother.
You had better get used to them.
I'm not going to do it, Father. We have citizenship. We no longer need them.
You will marry Falk, and you will move with him when his church transfers him.
Да зачем?
I go where I want, and I'll marry the man I love.
Bite your tongue, Calandra. You don't even know what you're
Зачем
saying.
мне выходить за него замуж?
Never,
Что за
ever
бред?
talk to us like that again. Otherwise you will find yourself sitting there all alone in the morning with your damn citizenship.
You're a stubborn, rebellious idiot, Chiron. Stop inciting your sister like that.
Father, I love Chiron.
Что?
You don't know what you're
Ты не можешь его
saying.
любить, он твой брат. Блин, ну чё ответить? Не знаю, что ответить. Неправильно любить свою сестру, я не буду отвечать так.
That's none of your business. You can't forbid us anything.
Children, you're running to your doom.
I hope I'm
О,
not
господи,
interrupting
опять эта
anything.
женщина.
I thought that maybe little Calandra would give me some advice on how we can make the wedding particularly tasteful. The old Rondra temple is such an austere, dreary building, and it would be a shame if our tastes were all too different.
Certainly. She will come with you.
Father.
My dear Chiron, it is really touching to see how much you worry about your little sister. But I think she should decide for herself.
Что за... Она колдунья.
I will come.
Она ее
Excellent,
заколдовала.
excellent. We will host a celebration such as Warwick has never seen.
Что за
Come
фигня?
along. And it goes without saying that the anxious brother can join
Неужели
us
он не
later
видел
at the
этого?
temple. Very well, gentlemen.
Она ее украдет. И убьет.
Calandra didn't go with Falk's mother voluntarily. She's been controlled.
That was a be my friend spell. A harmless elven spell. Probably Falk's mother tried to diffuse the situation.
Почему мать его эльфийка, а он не эльф? Это
And it's
странно.
be my friend's very harmlessness that makes it so suspicious. She must have a very, very good knowledge of that spell to calm down someone as angry as Calandra. Did you notice her pointed ears? If she is an elf,
Вот.
how can she be Falk's mother? He's no half-elf.
Maybe she's only his foster mother. That happens more often than you'd think.
You just don't want to understand. The old Rondra temple is a strange choice for Calandra's wedding. The Warunkians say the place was a necromancer whorehouse.
Falk wants to use the gesture. Today's good defeats yesterday's evil. The Warunkians will love him for it. Metropolitan Yarkon won't appreciate that. It undermines his authority. But he's not in Warunk. That way, Falk can demand obedience from all of the Rondrians, even the ones who are less forgiving.
While Falk prepares for his wedding, the Rondrians are combing the refugee camp.
They're looking for the Necromancer. If he has teleported himself away, he could be anywhere.
That was a transversalis spell. Unusual for a necromancer. You were right. Those undead really were just summoned as a distraction from something bigger. From whatever the invocation of Blackaraz was supposed to do.
But what could be bigger than hordes of undead assaulting the west town?
At any rate, it's passing strange that Falk is concentrating all of the Rondrian forces on the refugee camp. Almost as if he wanted to keep them away from somewhere else.
Despite everything, Falk is a Rondrian.
I don't know, but it's strange that the... Falk is a pimp, a traitor, and probably worse. I got us our citizenship. Why this insistence on the wedding?
Your siblings, Chiron.
But why Falk, of all people?
I won't tell you. I wish you could simply trust me.
Ты странный, папа.
I'm going to the Rondra temple. I'm not leaving Calandra alone with that woman. At least one of us has to stand by her. I'm...
Что за жизнь вообще? Какого черта на меня нападают? Кто-то из дома вышло, на меня уже нападают какие-то разборки.
Angrosh, smile on you, lad. I was looking for you.
Did something happen?
Cartel broke into our headquarters. Kidnapped Fyodor. Oh, that kicked a right large rock a-rolling. Now I'm going around warning my people. It's quite possible that you're
Да, я
next on
заметила,
Parrell's
на
wee
меня уже
list.
напали.
We've given the cartel enough cause for revenge.
Why is the cartel willing to take such a risk for that mage?
Parrell just couldn't admit that the guards had the better cards.
Better cards? You just locked Fyodor up without using his knowledge.
But we could have, the way Parrell can now. Sure, I didn't treat Fyodor like a guest, but he is a heretic when all's said and done. People cannot just do and say what they want. Everyone is responsible for their own actions.
Really?
By Angrosh's beard, aye, that's the way of it.
Have you heard about the desecration of the Prior's temple?
Yes, and I heard that you done well, lad. Glad the Rondrians have taken over the case.
It was very strange. There were signs pointing to the Lord of Vengeance everywhere. Maybe this whole attack was just a diversion.
Sounds like the cartel. They're capable of anything.
Why would the cartel willfully desecrate a temple?
Whoever catches the villain, well, the Warunkians will celebrate him or her. And that could be useful to Parrell when the balance of power shifts again.
You mean when officers are awarded again?
Pretty smart, old Parrell. Forges himself a dragon, sinks it in Batangar, and then he goes off to Xorlosh as the great dragon slayer.
What?
I mean that Parrell wants to swindle his way to fame, that's all, lad.
And what if it's not Parrell who's behind the Necromancer, but Folk of Aravor?
Well, if he manages to capture the Necromancer, the Warunkians will celebrate him as a hero.
And he's probably got an eye on Yarkon's position as head of the Rondrians.
Slow down, lad. Metropolitans aren't made overnight. You'll have to kill Yakon in a duel for that. And he'd be needing a real good reason for a duel like that, lad. Otherwise, he'd have half the Church of Rondra stomping through his tunnel come morning. Outside his door, I mean. With swords, you know?
But many Warunkians would take his side. He could command the Rondrians here, and the city walls would protect him.
At the moment, they're combing the western city. And if not, we'll find him. We can do what we want.
Why is the cartel willing?
Parrell, but we should. Bye.
I'm gonna head over to the old Rondra temple. I want to pick up my sister there.
Fine, lad. Take care of yourself.
Где этот храм?
Warunkians, keep your city clean. Whoever kills a dozen undead rats and
Какого?
delivers them to the temple.
Опять они? Где они? Никого не вижу. Какого черта? Ай. Бей. Угу. А вот и сестренка. Чё? Ее избили? Какого черта?
You hit her.
My wife will be silent when I demand it.
Она тебе еще не жена.
That's enough!
Chiron, drop it.
That's right, my love. It would be a shame if my dear brother-in-law were forced to watch our wedding from the scaffold.
Что за ужас?
Man to man, Chiron will chop you into bloody little pieces.
It will be my pleasure. When the time is ripe. Men, march!
Didn't you defend yourself?
It's not as bad as it looks. His mother jumped in between us before it got ugly.
What did you do in the temple?
Wedding preparations in the temple, and some kind of test on me.
On you?
Chiron, there are more important things at the moment. Please listen to me. Fultz's mother seems to like me. A lot. I was able to ask her a great many questions, and she talked like a disciple of Nandus. Fultz struck me to stop me from asking questions. She already knows much too much, he said. And he was right.
This test, it had something to do with our magic powers?
Fultz's mother knows something about them, I'm sure. My gift was the reason for the test. When our blood mingled, it seemed to have awoken something.
This just can't be true. Father warns us for years not to mix our blood, but never tells us why. Then some masked elf comes along, and all of a sudden you somehow have to marry the man who pretends to be her son. And when our blood accidentally does mix, awakening some sort of magical powers in us, then guess which same elf has an answer?
An answer she hasn't given me. Just a lot of solemn talk about the power of blood and pain. And that right after Fulk beat me bloody. Very appropriate.
I'm gonna talk to Father. He has to stop lying to us.
As long as you don't beat him to a pulp too.
That woman is really strange. Did you see her pointy ears?
I don't think that she's his mother. Rather something like his master. And right now she's none too happy with her student. She called him a failure.
Because it's unworthy of a Rondrian to lose patience?
No, he must have made some mistake first. I'm not sure, but it sounded as if he endangered some kind of cover-up. After he hit me, she hissed at him. Fool! Now it has begun anyway, she said.
Maybe it has something to do with the refugee camp, the necromancer's escape, or the fact that I defeated him.
Or our magic gifts. I don't know.
What did Folk's mother check you for?
I think it was some kind of magic test. She wasn't much interested in my virginity at any rate.
Not much?
In the end, she said it had already begun.
And then?
Nothing more. She just smiled and talked quite excitedly about the wedding. And about freedom, power, and ecstasy. Fulk stood next to her drooling. It was disgusting.
Calandra, let's get out of here. Father has his citizenship, so he'll be fine. There is no reason to marry that pig anymore.
There are 3 reasons why I should stay here and pretend like I'm actually going to marry Fulk. Firstly, that necromancer is still running around free. He killed off half the refugee camp, and, if I understood you properly earlier, all the signs point to my groom. Secondly, Fulk's mother is the only one who can tell us anything about these strange magical gifts. I just can't believe that Father would break his silence after all these years.
And thirdly?
Thirdly, I don't know if you love me. Whether you love me more than a man loves his sister.
If I said it now, it would sound wrong.
That's right, you stupid lump. So I'll have to wait a little longer.
I won't stand around here and wait until the wedding begins. I want to kill that invocator.
Wait, I found out something else that might help you. Fulk's mother talked a lot about the god Nandus' sons, Demon Master Borborad and Rohal the Wise.
Heresy in the old Rondra temple? Unbelievable to think that the Rondrians would tolerate such a thing.
Except for Fulk, there weren't any of them in the area when she talked about it. She mentioned a Council of the Dead. Borborad's Council of the Dead. It's supposed to be here in Moloch Mountain.
Father once spoke of it. We were very young, he had been drinking and was cursing the Borboradians. Upon his return from the grave, the Demon Master summoned the souls of the greatest scholars from Boron's underworld. He banished them into 3 troll skulls, which had to answer all of Borborad's questions. Whenever they refused, they were plunged into terrible agonies.
I remember. Father said that the skulls only answer Borborad himself, Him or his official successor.
Borberad appointed a successor?
If he wanted to ensure that his church would continue to exist after his death, he would have to.
Maybe there isn't an official successor. Then the skulls would have to answer everyone.
Or no one. It would be worth a try. If I understood Fultz's mother correctly, the Council of the Dead is somewhere in Moloch Mountain. This could be our chance. If the Council of the Dead knows the answer to everything, you could ask it anything. About the undead, the necromancer, maybe the Council even knows what other lies our father told us.
Even if this council really exists, the ghosts are scholars, not clairvoyant. How are they supposed to know about us?
Do you have a better idea as to who could help us? Father lies. Fulk lashes out at those around him, and his mother certainly isn't going to tell me anything more.
I've just met a very sage magus.
And where is your all-knowing magus?
In a deep dungeon, surrounded by enemies.
Then it's certainly wiser to get our hands on this great magus than to explore a demigod's deepest secrets.
You know, maybe I'll just do that.
Go ahead. Your decision. But it would be just plain stupid.
So, just plain stupid.
Let's say, a little stubborn?
Talk to Borberad's Council of the Dead and expect an answer. I mean, that just sounds too out of this world.
But it's so nice that you're doing it anyway. Good luck, my hero.
Whoop.
You can...
See you later.
Вообще надо бы сходить к отцу и расспросить его про то, что он скрывает. Задание у меня другое.
Yesterday, the cartel went out on another foray. I saw my neighbor again later.
Посмотрим, скажет он что-нибудь или нет.
Kyra.
Нет, ничего нового он не скажет. Жаль.
I'm
Ладно, идем дальше.
Here, Warunkians!
Afraid of out
The Metropolitan has decreed that
Задание есть? Нету. Чувак. Сейчас продам все это. Что такое 8Т? Я не понимаю.
Do you even know it?
Что у вас есть? Ого. Так, броня 3, бремя 2. Я возьму вот это. А штаны какие-нибудь есть? У меня броня 1, бремя 1. Можно еще зелье.
Welcome, Kyra.
Это у меня еще жопа. Значит, неопознанно. Не знаю, смогу, не смогу. Режущее лезвие. Почему не могу ничего сделать? Сковать написано. Не могу сковать. Ой, нечаянно.
Warunkians, keep your city clean. Whoever kills a dozen undead rats and delivers them to the temple shall receive an entire bowl of good.
Женщина стоит. Какая-то она грязная.
12 gold.
Куда идти-то? Кто? Где? Когда?
I'm glad to be in here. I hear people in the West Town are rotting alive.
Дай сука, сильно. Не вот это. Надо его накачать. Это накачать. Кстати, можно заклинание. Или нельзя еще? Борчу. Нет. Все равно еще нельзя ничего приобрести. Так, а это что? Вот. Дуэльная лук. Что тут у нас интересно? Кстати, алхимия. Что можно сделать? Противоядие. Это что? Так понимаю, нам туда. Никакого нет значка, что игра там сохранилась. А, вот есть. Что происходит? Мы тут уже были в прошлый раз. Ладно. Думаю, на сегодня это все. Продолжу уже в следующей серии играть. Всем спасибо за просмотр. Приходите еще. И до встречи в новых сериях.